Well, hello! I'm going to be doing a chatty get ready with me today, and I know exactly what I'm going to talk about because I just saw Meryl Streep and Martin Short recording Only Murders in the Building on my way into the office. So let's talk about it. I forgot my sponge. I'm just going to show you guys the look I've been doing recently. Starting out with Sneaky Balm in N11. My face is almost out of my winter shade of N11 into N10, but my titties and chest are not. So we're gonna meet in the middle a little bit and still use N11 just in a very light layer. My skin is super dry and annoyed right now. I did prep it, and I want to explain this because I've been talking about it lately in some of my short form content. That's right, I make short form content now. I'm a content creator. How do you prep your skin with minimal products so that everything doesn't turn into a big slish slosh throughout the day while still getting enough SPF? I used a rich moisturizer this morning before, and then I put on SPF. Enough time went by that because my skin is so dry, it like sucked everything up. So a few minutes before I filmed, I reapplied my sunscreen as my primer basically, and to kind of touch it up. And you want to use a generous amount of SPF, which is sort of the opposite of what I keep telling you guys about prepping your face with minimal priming products. So that's why it's important to do it a few minutes beforehand, because now it's had time to kind of absorb in and set, and it's not so sloshy. Just even things out a little bit. Now I'm using Best Case Concealer also in N11 because normally I use N10 Sneaky Balm and then N11 concealer to brighten a little bit, but I'm in an in-between moment here. And so N11 concealer is still brightening because my face is in between 10 and 11 right now. So it still looks like it's lifting my under eye a little bit, even though technically it's not. Now I'm using Cacao Verdadero on my cheeks. I've enjoyed this as like a blush slash bronzer slash one and done thing. So I was scootering here on my super cool electric scooter, wearing my helmet and my safety goggles that I wear to keep pollen from getting in my eyes while I scooter, looking fine as hell. And I was in my neighborhood, and I live just like a couple miles away from the office. It's a nice sunny day. I'm just bebopping along, like I said, looking super cool in all my gear. And I stopped at an intersection and they were filming, which is common. It's New York. People are filming productions all the time. And while I was stopped at the intersection for the red light, I heard there was like people gathered, which is also normal. People want to see, what's being filmed. I normally don't pay that much attention because I'm so disenchanted with it all after having worked in film for so long, which sounds pretentious, but is true. And so I'm about to start scooting forward, and then I heard somebody on the corner say Meryl Streep and Martin Short, and I was like, "Skirt!" Excuse me? Are they filming Only Murders in the Building right now? And it's a scene with Meryl Streep and Martin Short, and they were like, yeah, they're about to come out of those doors right now. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I hovered like a creep, and I made eyes at Martin Short, and he sensed me. I could tell he sensed my presence. He was eating a banana, which I was like, he's just like us. I eat bananas. But then he was actually eating a banana for the scene. And I was like, okay, so that's less relatable to me. I don't eat bananas for a scene. I just eat bananas. I still have some work to do to be more like Martin Short. His comedy, Steve Martin and Martin Short, were so formative to my comedic brain. Since I was such a young child, I adore him so much. And even like I love listening to podcasts he's been on and talk show appearances because it helps inspire me. Like he has a podcast episode with Conan O'Brien, who's another hero of mine. And I listen to it sometimes when I'm just like wanting inspiration. By the way, I'm also putting mood lighting light over because that is what I've been doing. Also, these are fresh pans because I did leave my quad at home on accident and I had to steal. But I can steal. It's a convenient workplace to have forgotten your makeup too, because we make it here, so it's just here and I can just grab more. But I did hit pan on mood lighting light and only had it around the edges, so honestly, fine to open up a next one. And yes, it is limited edition, gonna go away at some point, but clearly I'm having fun with this color, so it's still here for now. Brows. I go through phases, and I'm re-entering a phase where I'm just using the Anastasia Taupe, and it is a little bit warmer than I want it to be, but it has been, how can I say this, nearby, and it's better than a lot of other things, so I've been using it. I do want to make brow products, and I've honestly been really sloppy with this lately and just kind of like randomly filling in bald spots and not super caring, especially because I have bangs. So bangs are the new brows on my head. So seeing Meryl Streep, which obviously it's cool to see Meryl Streep too. I just happen to have a particular obsession with Martin Short. And I knew he was like, I can feel like an energy over here, someone who's perhaps wearing super cool safety goggles to keep pollen wisely out of their eyes. And I just know we had that connected moment. Now I'm gonna use this Half Magic Grippie Brow Sculpting Gel, which is actually a pretty good brow gel. I got it a while ago and occasionally forget about it and revisit it. And I actually think it's a pretty good brow gel. Just brushing them up and out. And then I kind of go across the top just to tone it down a little bit. So it's not just like, ding, which I know is a look for some people, but I am not those people. So on the rest of my scooter ride back, where I was just like, oh my God, I just watched Martin Short eat a banana right by my apartment. What a cool life. Also, when I got into the office, some of the other people that work here also live in my same neighborhood. And I was like, I just saw Meryl Streep and Martin Short. And they were like, yeah, they're filming only why can't I say the name of that? They're filming Only Murders in the Building. Didn't you know that? Everyone knows that. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't know, but at least I happened upon it anyway, because I'm lucky. Anyway, on the rest of my scooter ride, I was just thinking about my comedy heroes and how much I love comedy. And it got me curious about who are the comedians that influenced other people. And for me, it was very much Steve Martin, Martin Short, Conan O'Brien, and Eddie Izzard and Mitch Hedberg were the ones who came straight into my mind. If you're not familiar with any of those comedians, do familiarize yourself. But I used to watch like Napster download like illegal downloads of their comedy specials when I was really little, because my older brother had them, and I would sit in his room sometimes till like 3 a.m. We would just watch comedy specials from Mitch Hedberg, Eddie Izzard, any of those people, and it really shaped my brain. So if you have any qualms about my brain's shape, then you can take it up with those guys. Okay, now I'm gonna do my eyes, and I debated showing you guys this or lying. Because I said I'm doing my everyday makeup lately, and this is my everyday makeup lately. But I wasn't sure about showing it because I made these eyeshadows. Salt is coming out with eyeshadows. And it is pretty premature to actually share that information with you guys because they're nearing the end of the stage of testing where it's like me testing them to see that I'm happy with the formula before they go through like ultimate stability testing and that whole process to make sure that they're properly preserved, all that jazz. I make no guarantees that these colors I'm using right now will come out because I'm making a bunch of colors and still deciding, but these ones I have on hand and I've been testing out for a while, and I am quite pleased with the texture and wearability and pigmentation. I'm using a brush right now because this brush was clean and nearby. You notice a theme. If it's nearby and it's clean, I'm like, okay, I'll use this. But it is not, I mean, it's fine. It's a eyeshadow brush I got from Fenty, but it's just like, for the price that it was, I feel like it is not contributing anything super special to this experience, and it's kind of too big for my little head and my little eyes. Anyway, I'm very excited about eyeshadows. As you may or may not have noticed, we have never formulated powder products before. So this was a whole new world for me. This is a different shade that I've been using underneath my eyes. It's like more of a pinkish gold, a little bit. Poke myself in the eye. It's all for the testing. What happens if you poke yourself in the eye? Nothing? Great. I mean, don't poke yourself in the eye, please, with any of our products. It was a big undertaking, a whole new equipment, a whole new process, whole new everything and world, as I said earlier. And it has been really fun. I just love chemistry. I love formulating things. I love making new colors. And I really have enjoyed this process. It's been really exciting to enter a whole new world. Also, I would love to hear your thoughts on eyeshadow shades. because, fuck it, I'll just tell you. I'm making little quads that will fit into our bamboo compacts. So there'll be like 4 little eyeshadows that can fit into the single compacts. And I want to make light, medium, and deep. I don't know that I'm supposed to like say all of this early on, but I'm feeling freaky. Saw Martin Short, Meryl Streep, and now I'm just feeling freaky. I want to make a light, a medium, and a deep quad because it has bugged me for years as a makeup artist doing makeup for Black people and also sometimes do makeup for people that are very, very pale. The default eyeshadow quads, it's like taupe. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I using taupe for on a Black person? And like the darkest brown is like not dark enough. And the same thing for like a taupe might be really, really dark. You have to use a super light hand if somebody's really pale. So I've always felt like eyeshadows should come in light, medium, and deep and cater to those skin tones. So I want to do that. And eyeshadows are tricky because the pigments themselves are different. So each eyeshadow is its own, each eyeshadow shade, you have to tweak the formula. So it's a lot of work. Like that's already 12 colors right there, all with an independent formula that needs to be tested. So eventually, obviously I'd like to make lots, but I'm thinking of either starting with like neutrals and just doing like a basic neutrals, like this is your go-to every day. But I'm also tempted to do something like maybe kind of like rosy and warm toned. And like, keep in mind, it's going to be a while before these come out. But let me know your guys' thoughts on like types of quad color schemes you might be interested in seeing for a first release, knowing that we will come out with more over time. Yeah. Now I'm going to use the dark brown from the Sigma palette called Condor. It's the Sigma Cool Neutrals palette. And I've been using this just as like a little, instead of eyeliner, lazy person hack, just kind of like blobbing it on. Don't have to be as precise. Adds a little definition, adds a little lift. Who doesn't love a little definition and a little lift? Smudge, 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 smudge it around. Curling my lashes, curling them up. Finishing off with this Surratt mascara that's really weird, and I realized I like it because I've almost used it all up. It's like a spirally piece of metal, but it puts it on so cleanly, like it doesn't make any clumps. And I like it more than I realized because I was like, oh no, I'm running out of it. It was received in PR, I believe, but I might actually repurchase it because I like how natural it makes my lashes look, and it has decent hold. It's not waterproof, but my eyelashes are so dry and brittle that I tend to not use waterproof most of the time because it just like my lashes can't handle it. They can't hang. So yeah, who are your favorite comedians? Who shaped your brain? And also just who are your favorite current comedians? Would love to hear that as well. I'm personally obsessed with James A. Caster. Do a little bit of Cacao on my lips. And then a little bit of Mood Lighting Light. And that has been my go-to everyday look lately. Also, I got a haircut yesterday and I feel very cute now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry that you didn't get to have a moment with Martin Short today, but I mean, it just be like that sometimes. Actually, most of the time. Every other day of my life, I haven't had that happen. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. He's my best friend, but he doesn't know it yet. It's not creepy. Martin Short eating a banana. He's just like us. And fucking